Oh, hello. I'm Brenda Emmanuel, and welcome to Love Freely but Pay for Sex. Now, I personally haven't ever paid or been paid for sex myself, but it's a subject that came to mind one day whilst watching a classic Tina Turner music video called Private Dancer. Although the song or video isn't about sex directly, I felt very inspired to write something on the subject of this whole new pay for sex policy that the government are planning to introduce. It's actually a fact that 89% of people in Great Britain are now actively living a pay for sex lifestyle, giving and receiving money for sex. Now that is a very big percentage. That's almost the entire country. It's so widespread now that it's impossible to just dismiss it as prostitution. I mean, you can easily see why the government will now want piece of the action by taxing everyone on sex. But nobody is talking about it. And we thought it would be great to get out there and speak to some people, so we did. And interestingly and surprisingly, we came across a significant amount of people that were willing to share their time and express their views about this subject with us.
So how do you think this is going to affect the models that you design for?
I think, to be honest, that's probably the thing that I don't agree with, the only thing really. I mean, because I designed lingerie and the girls are quite exposed, I think before I always felt that there was a certain amount of unattainability that they had with maybe the guys that were watching the shows, or anyone really, but it was modelling and it was kind of sexy and fashion, but it wasn't like sleazy in any way. I just worry a little bit that the pay for sex policy is going to encourage that mindset a little bit where the models are concerned, and that they might get a little bit of, sleazy attention or might be harassed and stuff by people. I hope that doesn't happen, because otherwise I'm actually really happy with the policy, and I think it's going to bring a lot of extra money into the arts and fashion and stuff. But yeah, no, I do worry a little bit about what's going to happen with the girls. Sure.
So you think that this policy is actually going to help fund the arts specifically, or just in general?
I think it's all we can hope for, the creative industries, that, money put back into the economy is going to help us, because for so long I think that's been the thing where money's always had to come out of first, and they've always been encouraging maybe, education a little bit more, and schooling and the NHS and that stuff, which is really important. But I think people, especially when money's not around so much, people still love the arts and they want to be entertained and they want to have fun. I think it's been a real shame that, money's been taken away from that side of things. I just hope that it can be put back.
I couldn't condone the idea at first. It seemed very much like prostitution. But then I suppose I didn't respect the fact that there were so many people in our society, both male, female, young and old, who that's the way they actually make their money. That's how they put food on their tables, make a living. But then I couldn't help thinking that why shouldn't every person, charge money for giving another person sexual pleasure? In our current financial situation, to pay and charge for sex sounds like a logical solution, and it makes complete sense. Actually, I wonder why it's taken us so long to get to this point. But then, for an advanced, forward-thinking, civilised society, we haven't always been that quick off the mark, have we?
You've got to think to yourself, it's a risky business having sex with someone. You're opening yourself to a lot of things, and that's whether you're a female or a male. So much is always at stake, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and of course not to mention your health, amongst a whole range of other considerations. But if you have to pay for it, then that instantly makes it a whole different ballgame for everyone involved. Think about it. The whole thing about it is that everybody is forced to think twice. sex is wonderful, sex is great. Yes, that is one thing on one hand. But now they have to part with money. Changes the overall dynamic somewhat.
This is the last stop of today. We're actually inside the building now, which is great. I won't tell you what I had to do to actually get in here. Now, there's a few key people that we really want to talk to today. We really want to hear from how... Hi, how are you? I'm presenting for a TV production company.
Hi.
We're here today to make a documentary about the pay for sex policy. You're aware of this policy?
Yeah, are you all supposed to be here?
Yeah, we are supposed to be here. We have permission to be here.
Oh, so you got permission
Yeah,
to be
we
here?
have permission to be here. So now we just want a few moments of your time. Can you just tell us how you feel about this policy?
I am not told about this, so I don't think we should
It's
be talking to anyone.
completely off the record. You
I'm
don't
not
have to worry
I'm
about
not even
this.
sure you're supposed to be here, so if you don't mind, I'm getting late
Can
for
you
a
just
meeting.
summarise for me? Can you just give me a brief sentence? Just a brief sentence. Just tell me how you feel. We really want to hear.
Look, I'm getting late for a meeting, so I think
the
maybe
time
you should
that you're
talk to
taking
somebody
to
else.
argue with me, you could just actually just
Okay,
tell me how
maybe
you
you should
feel.
wait
So
down
can you just...
in reception and
Do you
get
not
somebody
wanna-
else to talk to you. I'm not supposed to talk to anybody
You're
about
the
this.
right person. We'd love to hear from you.
No,
You're
I
exactly
don't
the type
think
of
I'm the
person
right
that we want to
person.
speak to.
No, I think you should go downstairs now. That's enough now. You can put the camera away now. That's
Look,
it. Listen, lady, that's enough. I think you should go downstairs and wait.
Can you just give me just a few words?
You're not
Just
supposed to
summarise,
be here.
just
You know that.
it's
You
completely
all are not
off the
supposed to
record.
be here.
It's off the record.
No.
You don't have to worry about it.
You're not
We
supposed to be in the
want
building
hear
either.
from
Who let
it's
you in?
important that everyone can understand
No, I don't think.
how people feel
Listen,
about
I'm
this
getting late for a
policy.
meeting and I shouldn't be talking to anyone. I think you should go
We're
downstairs
trying
and
to
wait.
form this
No,
documentary.
that's
This
enough.
is-
I think that's enough. Put the camera away. Put the camera away.
This is quite impressed with that.
No, that's really interesting. So what you're saying is paying for sex is a good thing then?
Sex is a very costly part of yourself to share with anyone. You're always giving away an irretrievable piece of yourself, whether the individual realizes it consciously or not. The subconscious effects of sex go deeper than you think. Knowing that you paid good money for it will definitely have a more positive influence regarding any psychological impact that may follow, as often does follow in most cases.
So are you saying that you pay for sex then?
Well, you see, the thing about that is that it's pretty normal in this day and age to indulge yourself, especially with the new legislation coming in. You've got to be mindful of that. So you can say, I'm a step ahead of the game.
Yes, it is something that's underway, but it will take some time. There are several stages involved in the legislative process so that the government can make paying for sex a legal requirement. Firstly, the government must produce a draft bill. In its preliminary stages, the bill will be issued for consultation and discussion with key individuals and stakeholders, such as professional bodies, voluntary organisations, and pressure groups. This usually takes the form of a green paper, followed by a white paper and pre-legislative scrutiny stages before a finalised bill is formally introduced to Parliament. And once the House of Lords and the House of Commons have then agreed upon the content of the bill, it is presented to the Queen for her approval, a stage known as royal assent. Now, once royal assent has been given, the bill will become an Act of Parliament and become law. The practical implementation of the bill will then become the responsibility of the relevant government department.
How do you feel this pay for sex policy is going to, affect your relationship then?
Well, we're not quite sure how it'll all work out, to be honest. We've never had to consider anything like this before. I mean, we're having sex, but we're not married. We're living together and planning to get married once we've worked and saved up enough money.
I just don't know if we're going to be able to afford to keep having sex as well as saving up for a wedding and a new house. We're currently living at Michael's mum's, you see, and I think we're going to have to stop having sex until we're both properly working and married.
Wow. Okay, well, all the best with everything, and thank you. Thanks a
Well
lot.
done, yeah?
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Wow, this is what Britain's coming to.
Okay, thanks for waiting. Sorry about that. All right, so in the case of cohabitation and non-marital couples, whenever it's time for sex, you both make a payment. It's pretty much like anything else. You can pay your fees in advance or pay after each session. If it's your partner you're having sex with, then more than likely it's going to be someone that you trust. And so for convenience sake and not spoiling the moment, paying afterwards tends to work better, which is something that could also be at the discretion of one-off sex session first-timers and non-regular partners too, provided that there's that mutual trust there. Is that all clear?
Yep.
Yeah.
Any questions?
No.
I think it all makes sense.
Okay, lovely. All right, I've got some information here, which you can just have a quick glance over. Just explains it a bit more fully.
Are you sure you want to go through with this?
Edward.
I know I just want to be sure that you're sure.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure. But if you have any doubts, I just want you to know
Look,
that...
honey, I'm sure. I don't have any doubts. You don't have anything to worry about. We spoke about this, and I think it's something I want to do. I'm happy.
Okay. Well, if you're happy, I'm happy. I love you too, sweetie.
Okay, so all decided?
Yes.
Yeah, what's the verdict?
Yeah, no, we're gonna...
Gonna go ahead?
Go
We're
ahead.
going to go ahead.
Yes.
Okay, brilliant. Right, we'll just find the contract and then we can sign today.
Okay. This contract, it's totally legally binding.
Yes, yes, so once you've signed, then that's it. So you do need to make sure you're 100% certain before you sign.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And this is the only contract we'll have to sign?
Yeah, just one.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So Aisha, tell us your views on this pay for sex policy. How do you think it's going to affect your life?
Well, I've been reading about it, and I must admit I'm quite concerned. Personally, I don't think I'll be able to pay the tax on this policy, so this whole pay for sex thing is a bit of an issue for me. It's made me realise that I need to find a husband. That being the case, I've sort of made the decision now to settle down and actually actively look for someone, so I'm quite keen on meeting someone to marry. So I think the idea is good, but it means that I need to now go out and find someone to be with, because I can't really afford to carry on the way that I'm going on now. So if you know anyone, please let me know.
Thank you very much. Wish you all the best.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
As I expressed earlier this week in one of my lectures, I urge everybody to love freely and with abundance. Because, well, love, peace, care, tenderness, well, they're going to save the world, right? They're certainly what the world needs more of anyway. However, having sex for free in this day and age, with its myriad of risks, dangers, complications, implications, no. No, I feel that sex should be fairly paid for in one way or another, money being the obvious currency. When you consider it, we all pay for the sex we have one way or another eventually anyway.
You guys are attractive and young. I mean, how do you feel about this new government pay for sex policy that's coming out? And, I mean, honestly, how do you really feel?
you want to know how I feel?
Yeah.
So I'll tell you how I feel. This pay for sex policy is bullshit.
I'm telling you, this will start another riot. I mean, there are 16-year-olds and their hormones are racing at the moment. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So their hormones are racing and they're having to pay for sex.
Well, I mean,
let me finish. Let me finish.
Hold on a minute. I would really like to know what Tyrone. I mean, do you share the same view as Darren?
Well, I share the same view, but I can't see why the government find it necessary to charge people to have sex with their couples. I mean, you know, like, I've been with my girl for like 2 years now, obviously, like, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I enjoy having sex, you know, like, what's this bullshit about?
So how do you think it would affect you? I mean, if it really came into power, I mean, and it possibly is coming very soon.
Personally, I just think it's gonna ruin my relationship, and we're gonna end up breaking up, and it's not gonna end up working out.
Totally. Yeah. I'm 19, I go to Hearts Uni, innit? Now, what I'm saying is that this whole government bullshit about you have to pay for sex is absolutely ridiculous. You feel me? Me paying for sex? Are you mad? Really and truly? Come on. It's absolutely absurd.
I mean, how do you think it's going to affect you? I mean, this is something that's actually coming in.
Listen, I'm saving about, I work in TGIs full time, and I'm saving about, say, £200 every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm spending £200 of that money on having sex with my girlfriend, that is just absolutely ridiculous. That means I'm spending more than I'm saving, which is absolutely absurd. I mean, the government want you to make minimal money.
Okay,
we are 19 and 20 years of age.
Being able to afford it then.
It's not going to last. The government can go and screw themselves if they honestly think. Let me tell you something. If they genuinely think that I'm going to stand here and agree with this pay for sex policy, they can just go.
But the thing is, it's not. I mean, there's a lot of us, or a lot of people, I should say, that don't agree with it. But it's something that's actually coming into play, and it's something that we're going to have to take part.
To be honest with you, I'm not going to be a part of it. I will quite happily have sex with my girl and I won't be paying a penny. I don't think it's right. Like, the fact that you have to pay for sex. Like, who came up with this bullshit?
I think the whole of this city right here, needs to understand the power and the voices of the youth today.
The government.
My name is Darren, I'm 19 and I will not be paying for sex. Okay? Let's leave it at that. Let's go.
That's what I'm saying.
Thank you.
See you later.
Bye, guys.
To be expected, a lot of people will be opposed to the concept of paying for sex. Obvious reasons. I personally much rather spend my money on sex and other stuff like drugs, cigarettes, alcohol, and numerous other things that we use for our short-term benefits, release and pleasure, and often to our own detriment. Unpaid sex should be viewed in the same category. I mean, in the long term, what are we really getting out of it?
There he is. Mr. Powell, can I take a minute of your time just to discuss the pay for sex policy? Please, just 2 minutes of your time just to discuss.
One
the
minute.
pay for
1 minute
sex.
only. My cab's there.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that.
1 minute. That's all.
Thank you so much for your time. I mean, so what's actually happening with the pay for sex policy?
Well, what people have to understand is that sex is already a global money-making industry. The government's job is now to sit down with these policy proposals at hand and to work out how to efficiently legislate and regulate it, what that's based on, and how to properly and correctly implement the right tax policies, etc., so that paying for sex is fair, practical and affordable for everyone. There's no short-term solution. People expect results overnight, and that's not going to happen. But the positive side, and the main thing to bear in mind, is it is going to happen. We're working on it and we're getting closer to that goal.
Okay.
Anyway, I must ask you to go now because I'm going to be very late for my next meeting.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your time. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
once in a while we get some time off, we go out together and we enjoy ourselves, you know. Went to a really good club in Soho after that, you know, had a great time, brilliant time. But yeah, I love London, you know. To tell you the truth, that's why I wanted to do this job, you know. It wasn't so much about doing a job and making money as it was to, you know, drive around London, seeing the sights, picking up the tourists, you know, that sort of thing. And, you know, the thing with this job is, you know, you meet new faces every day. You know, you're picking people up, you're hearing their stories, you know, you're taking them to work, you're taking them home from work. If, you know, you're working nights, you'll be taking them to a club, a bar, that sort of thing. And in that, you know, people do confide in you. You know, they do tell you a lot of stuff. And I think this job, more than anything, you know, it's really made me appreciate London, you know, London life and London people. And, you know, that's why people come here from wherever they've come from. You know, there's absolutely nowhere in the world like London. You know, it's just a brilliant city, you know, it's lovely, brilliant.
It's necessary. It's necessary for the advancement of humankind. It's something that people look at in a negative way because, you know, people have to work to make money and pay bills and, you know, survive monetarily, you know, if that makes sense. But the bigger picture in terms of how it will benefit us and our children and their children and all the generations to come for the future is massive. You know, that goes beyond the fact that I can't afford to pay my rent this week because I've spent all my money on sex. You know, but this money that's being generated is not just, you know, a pack of cigarettes or, you know, a night down the pub or whatever. This is money that's being put into, you know, to the planet to make a better world. You know, to make make everyone be better off in the long run. It's not something that I think we should take lightly and dismiss as, you know, another government ploy to rob the people. You know, I think we should really look at the benefits of this whole pay for sex policy on a bigger scale. You know, I want to know that my children and their children's children and generations to come survive and live in a good way and a rich and happy way. And this is the only way I see that happening. It's the only way forward for all of us in the long run. You know, we work, we spend our money, sometimes not as wise as we should, and we look back and we think, well, I would have had more money if I saved my money up, you know what I mean? With this, in the future, our children and their children won't have to have that worry with this policy. Money will be secure. Everyone has sex. It makes sense to me. Everyone has sex. People need to think about that. Seriously. You know, it's just something that the world needs. You know, you look at everything that's going on in the world today and you know that there is something lacking in the world and how it runs and the planet and the state that it's in. You know, I'm just one person, but, you know, anyone of average intelligence can see that the planet and the people on it and how it's running is not right. There's something that needs to happen to make a change. We've got war, we've got famine, we've got people going crazy, we've got poverty, all these things, do you know what I'm saying? And it's because there is something not right. And what is that? There's a lack of something. And this pay for sex policy, in so many ways I could talk about right now, is the way forward. It's the way forward. It's the way to alleviate all of that. All of where we've come from, all of where we went wrong as a planet, what we've done to the earth, as a people, what we've done to each other. This is the only thing that's going to get us back. Everyone has sex, everyone has money. Money runs the planet, and sex is what gets us here. You know, we all had, you know, our parents had to have sex, and their parents had to have sex. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. So sex is paramount for the existence of mankind. And this whole plane, this whole planet, this whole world runs on money. So money and sex married together is a way forward. You know, I'm not talking prostitution, I'm talking globally. Sex, the one thing we all do, should be paid for monetarily. I firmly believe that. I believe that to my heart of hearts. I'm not joking with you, I'm serious. Everyone has all different opinions about this whole, the whole policy and how it's the government, who want to just rob the people, who just want to, get richer and make the poor people poorer. And yeah, we've heard that 100 times. We hear that every day. Do you know what I mean? We all pay bills, everyone works. Do you know what I mean? It's just how it is, But the one thing that everybody needs right now is this policy. I'm telling you that. I feel I could go out and campaign about it. I'm serious. We need it. It's the only way forward for mankind.
You see, the problem we have today is that our children, our teenagers, our young people are over-sexualized by the media. Before they even know how to add up numbers properly or how to write or even speak or communicate properly, they're flooded with images. It's all in what they see and hear. These images of sex, these articles of sex or sex-related, sex-driven media. It's on their televisions at home. It's in the films they go and see, the music they listen to, the magazines they pick up and read. They get home, they jump onto the internet, and it's saturated with all of that too. Their friends are talking about sex. And with technology now, a child can carry all of this around with them in their pocket or their purse everywhere they go, every day. All you need is an iPhone or a BlackBerry and you have instant sex appeal. People will know what I'm talking about. But what I'm saying is, you have to accept that if you talk to a child on the street today about God, about church, about religion, about spirituality, about fornication, about the sanctity of marriage, or anything in the realms of righteousness or godliness, then you have to take these things into account. Because guaranteed, the majority of young adults today will either be on their way to or coming from an activity, a meeting, a conversation or something, centered around or stemming from the subject of sex or sexual relationships.
So, you made it back in one piece then, you little slag.
Shut up, you little bitch. Yeah, just about.
When I got that text this morning, I was like, yep, she ain't waking up for now.
Oh no, man, I'm shattered. I woke up not too long ago.
Where are you? You in the toilet?
Yes.
Antoinette, why am I in the toilet with you?
Oh, shush.
You crazy person.
You like it, really?
You're such a filth. Where's Marcus?
Oh, he's still in bed.
Oh, worn him out, have ya?
Yes, you could say that. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm just watching that pay for sex thing. Tyrone and Darren are being interviewed in it.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna wake up Marcus now. We need to watch this.
But why are you waking him up now if you're gonna watch it?
Because he says he doesn't want me to watch it without him.
Tell him I said he's a joker.
Yeah, I will. Anyways, I'll give you a call when I'm done, yeah?
Cool, babe. I'm gonna go and watch the rest of it. Hopefully no interruptions this time.
Whatever.
Speak in a bit, babe.
Alright, babe, in a bit.
See ya.
Bye.
Hi Cynthia, you called.
Floor
Yes.
5.
I'm going to a meeting now.
Doors opening.
Yes. All right, Cynthia. No problem. Just let me know how many guests she's expecting and what's in her budget. Okay, great. Get back to me later today then, honey. Oh, and make sure her and these girls are all clean, look good and smell clean. My boss love sex and they love dirty sex, but they also have a certain definition of exactly what that is, if you know what I mean. They're picky when it comes to hygiene. I mean, they refuse to work with. Fabulous. Okay, great. Speaking of it then. Bye for now. Sorry. Okay. How can I help?
Hi, we're in Stratford talking to some more people about the pay for sex policy, and we've got Darren with us. Hi, Darren.
You alright?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. So how do you feel about the pay for sex policy?
You know, it's when they bring things like that in, you know, that's the whole reason why there's so much crime, mayhem and madness on the streets and everywhere you look. You know, not just with young people, but in general, it's not even about the youth. It's not about these so-called juveniles and problem children, blah, blah, blah. But the very government responsible for the growth and integrity and well-being and running of this country continue to introduce stupid nonsense policies one after the other that just make no practical sense. Just so they can introduce even more stupid nonsense policies to feed the greedy fat cats themselves. The real criminals already living off the fat of the land, getting fatter while the rest of us starve in poverty, labelled as criminals. How can any sensible government even consider charging people for sex, man? It's stupid, but I mean, we said the same thing about water, didn't we? So, I mean.
Okay, well, thank you, Darren. Thanks for that. Okay, bye.
Well, I mean, I'm already paying for sex, so I don't think it matters to me at all. I don't think it affects my life in any way. I mean, I'm married and I'm paying for it, so I mean, I've got the house, so I pay the bills, I've got the car company, so I pay for the cars, I've got the kids and their school, I've got the wife and her bridal business and her mum. I mean, I've got all the responsibilities that go with all those things and I pay for all of it, so I mean, she had the kids when I met her, so obviously I love them too, so you know how it is. But look, if you're in a relationship with a woman and you're the man and you're the only one dipping into our honeypot, so to speak, then you've got to expect that you're going to dip into your pocket as well. So yeah, I'm already paying for sex 10 times over.
Sex is not a new thing. In my country, it's very normal. It has been this way for many years. It's not just for people using prostitute, but for everybody. It is custom to pay money for sex, and it is things of sign of respect for a person if they are not already husband and wife. I think it should be this way here in the UK too. I think there's a lack of respect here between people who don't pay each other for sex.
So we have Mockumentary's wife coming out any second now. I think the son is...
Thanks, Mum. We really did try our best.
Mrs. Terry, is it true about Wayne's antics? Is he paying for sex?
Wayne doesn't have to pay for sex. We're married now.
Would you divorce him if he is?
What are you people doing, eh?
How do you feel about your father destroying my sex? Is my son
Stop harassing us.
Stop trying to destroy our marriage. He's got to go to school, you know. You're ruining our life. Just leave it to us.
You are obviously quite evil, Mrs. Terry. Would you pay for sex to get back at your husband? Mrs. Terry, the public wants to know. Just a couple more questions. you get that? Shit. We'll get her again. Get her next time. Well, you got some, right? Yeah.
It's quite funny. I've just come back from Desire Couples Only Resort out in Cancun, Mexico, with my girlfriend. There's a huge demonstration regarding free sex to return soldiers of war, whether or not they should have to pay for sex. But it's Mexico. I didn't quite understand the thought behind it. But anyway, it was also a honeymoon, which means I'm now officially a married man. Yes. So my pay for sex days have grounded to a halt officially, despite the fact that I never had any pay for sex days. But I say, bring it on. It will encourage more people to go and get married, definitely.
No. Listen, I ain't paying him shit. You can kiss my black ass. You wait till I tell you what happened properly. He reckons he's calling the police. You know what, I'm not even going to everything right now. Listen, my bus is coming and I'm so vexed. The sex was dry like a biscuit. He needs to know how to satisfy a woman before he starts charging people for sex. I actually can't believe it. What? No, it's nothing to do with the money. Money is not an issue. I've got money. If it's good, I pay. Come on, you know I've got money. It's the principle. Yeah, well, you can call the stupid police. I couldn't care less. As far as I'm concerned, he's a waste man. No, he's just a prick with a small dick who wouldn't recognise a clip if it was sat on his big fat lip. Well, you know what? He can go to hell and call whoever he wants.
Imagine when we were young and we were growing up, all we wanted money for was things like funfair rides, sweets and toys, comics, computer games and Barbie. Just goes to show how much things have changed. The innocent youngsters that we were, they don't exist anymore. They're not interested in all that. All the kids of today want money off their parents for is to go and buy sex. And this whole pay for sex policy ain't going to make the future any better. It's a crazy world and it's really scary where we're all heading, isn't it?
Hi ladies, firstly I just want to say thank you for allowing us to speak with you. I feel so honoured here, you know, speaking with the Sex Blisters. Wow, thank you. And what we want to know is, how do you ladies feel about the pay for sex policy? I mean, having to pay taxes on sex.
Well, yeah. I suppose I'd have to say yes to paying a sex tax if I had to. But I mean, we're a top selling band. It's not like we don't have the money. As long as people keep buying our music, we always will. But on the other hand, would I want to be forced to pay a sex tax on something that basically we get for free every night, and loads of it? Never been charged for anything like that. I don't know. But what I do know is I ain't gonna stop having sex. So some mug will be paying the taxes.
Yeah, I'd pay taxes on it. It'd be a great investment. The beginning of a new business venture for us if the next album don't do too good. We could provide our sexual services for businessmen in the city, factory workers, farmers in the countryside, stay-at-home single dads, desperate house husbands and jilted ex-boyfriends and their brothers. We could even extend our services to women.
Yeah. Could have this website, business cards, proper office, and we've got this automated machine, this little telephone answer service, and it's kind of like, for Daisy, please press 1. For Simone, press 2. And for Kelly Marie, press 3.
Seriously though, it's crazy. They're trying to get people to buy into this by telling them how it's going to instill better family values, build stronger family units, encourage more young people to get married, because everyone under this policy who's married by law won't have to pay. Also, how it's going to revive the economy, cure the recession. Everyone will be financially better off. How Britain will be great again. But really, all the government wants to do is make money out of people. These guys find it funny, but it's disgusting.
No, you're right. She's right. We need to be a bit more serious about this. We should get sex as a runner.
Thank you, ladies, for your time, and all the best with your second album. Thanks.
Look, I co-own and run the best of the best female escort agency in the entire country, legally. I also have the best girls and the largest database of high-paying, high-profile clientele anywhere and everywhere. If I was to tell you some of the well-known names that use our services, of course I can't do that, but you'd probably faint. We're fine. We've been around for years. Now the fact that the rest of the world suddenly wake up one day, today, tomorrow, or the next day, including the government or whoever, and all start talking about people paying money for sexual services is only going to greatly benefit my girls and the entire company overall. That's all we're interested in. That and the welfare of the girls that work for us. Not the politics. We don't see it as a threat at all, but a welcome change. We're a business. We're here to primarily make money, whilst offering this excellent service to all our clients.
Southwest at the moment, yeah. Yeah. You'll have to talk to Senator about that. Senator, that is, yeah. I'm just a driver, that's not my department. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Usually in the office between 12 and 4.
Calvin, I'm really sorry, but we need to go. I'm sorry, but I've got another client waiting, and he's got this thing about timekeeping. I have to either be there before, on the dot, not a minute late. I think he's got OCD. Anyway, Sunita won't blame you. She'll blame me. You know what she's like. Come on then, let's go.
All right, I have to go. I have to go now. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye. All right, let's go.
This is Robert again, and we are here in London celebrating this amazing event where people all over the world have gathered here to celebrate something very special. But in order to find out more about this, why don't we talk to some of them? We can ask this lovely gentleman over here. Excuse me, just 1 second. What's your name? Mark. Mark, could you tell me two questions? Why are you here today and what are you celebrating exactly?
Look, it's a brilliant time. This is what we've been wanting for forever.
not only is it the end of an era, but it's the end of a need for civil partnerships and the beginning of a time where gays can now happily get married by law, and our marriages can be properly recognised by society, the same as that of any non-gay couple. And that's why I'm here, and that's why I'm celebrating, mate. Very well said, Mark. Thank you so much and have a lovely day.
Yeah, you too, man.
You heard him. It's the end of an era and a new beginning where gay marriage can be celebrated equally. Why don't we find another person, maybe a girl this time, and we can... maybe this lovely girl over here. Excuse me? Would you mind telling me your name?
Sorry. Hi, sorry, Evelyn.
Evelyn, don't worry, you're not going to bite. We're just here to ask you 2 questions about this amazing event. Why are you here today and what are you celebrating exactly?
Yeah, we're here to celebrate the introduction of the new gay marriage legislation. Gay marriage will now be seen as within the same confines as a so-called normal heterosexual marriage. And as legally married gay couples, we will now also be exempt from having to pay for sex when the pay for sex policy comes into place. So we're really happy and excited.
Oh, you heard her. She's very happy. We're all very happy. Thank you so much, Evelyn. Have a lovely day.
And you. Bye.
As you can see, there's a lot of excitement in the atmosphere. People are celebrating something very special, not just for them, but for all of us. It's a great moment, a great event, a great day. Even the weather is holding up.
How the government think that they can realistically regulate this. I mean, how do you charge and tax everyday people for having sex? How would that even work? Who comes up with this stuff? I mean, how do they think that they can keep an eye on who's having sex, when, where and how much? The only people who can control it are the people locked away behind closed doors actually having it. And sometimes even those people don't know who they've had sex with.
Can't see him. I think that's like... Oh, look, there's Frank. Hi, Frank. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
How was the show? Did you enjoy it?
The show was absolutely fantastic, and it's going to get a great write-up. Everything, the choreography, the singing, brilliant production.
Yeah.
You enjoyed it, didn't you?
I loved it, yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
Oh, that is amazing.
Can I see it again? Definitely.
Brilliant. So, Frank, is it true that you've been paying for sex?
How does she know about that?
Well,
You
why?
said
What?
if you had an arrangement, you're going to keep it nice and quiet. How does she know about
Why?
that?
Why are you asking a question like that?
How do you know
What?
about that?
No. I'm not prepared to have this in.
found out?
I'm not.
How's she
I'm
found
not.
out?
Shh. I'm not. I'm
Frank,
not.
is it true? Tell us.
I'm not
Is it true,
prepared.
Frank?
I am not prepared to have this conversation. If you want to have a proper conversation about this, then you have to contact my people. Okay? Go through the right channels and do this properly. But right now, can you get the camera out of my face?
Is it true, Frank? Is
Can
it
you
true?
get the
Like, we really want to know. Is it true?
Get the camera out of the face. Get my seriously?
Frank.
No, this is. I've got to go. Go through the right channels, okay?
Hold on a minute. Was that not Annabelle Rose, the winner from that reality show? Sure it was.
How was your night then? Anywhere nice? Well, you been to the theatre? A cinema? A bar? Bit of dinner? Tell you what, the West End's lovely this time of year.
Always a buzz. Me and the wife, we went to that Centrepoint restaurant recently. Paramount it's called. It's a lovely place, right at the top. You been there? Tell ya, the view is amazing. The food is good. It's a nice atmosphere. It's expensive, but worth it. You should try it if you haven't. We don't get to go out much, you know, I do this most nights now. She works day shifts at the hospital. She's a midwife, so you can imagine. Believe it or not, my wife has delivered 534 babies. That's busy. And then we got the kids to sort out and keep happy in between. 5 kids we've got. Yeah, well, 4.5. One's a new addition. Are you that, you look like that guy, that writer, Frank something. You know, you look like him.
What can I say? Thank you for a very, very nice time.
You're welcome. Thank you.
A little on the expensive side, I thought at first, if I'm honest. But you are 100% worth it.
I appreciate that.
And sorry again about the interruption with the cash situation. But I'm just so used to paying for everything with card or check.
No, it's cool. Like I said, don't worry about it. These things happen. You know?
Here's the rest.
I won't even count it.
Thanks. I'll definitely be recommending your services in the future. For myself.
You alright, darling? How you doing, mate? You all good?
Yeah, bro, that's good.
Oh, where was that then?
That was Vanessa. And a very lovely Friday night.
Yeah, whatever. You'll be so lucky. Go on, how much did she pay you then?
Listen, never you mind, brother. More than you'd ever get paid for your sexual services, mate. Anyway, listen, Jim, you ready, yeah?
Yeah, whatever.
Let's do this.
Anyway, whatever it was, someone should tell her she was robbed, mate.
You little mug. Just because no one paid to have sex with you.
You would, wouldn't you?
Yeah, alright. Listen, let me just get my kit.
You're not going to invite me in then?
No, we're already late.
Hurry up then, yeah? I'll be downstairs.
I think it's great. It's fantastic for me anyway. Look, I run an independent fisheries factory and getting my lads up to get over here to work on time is a nightmare. I call them up 5 AM Monday morning to see why they're late, and they're still in bed with whatever girl they've picked up in some sleazy bar over the weekend. At least with this, now they can think twice and get their priorities right. I'm guaranteed they'd roll over in bed early Monday morning, feeling a bit frisky, wanting some morning nookie as usual, and they'll remember they now have to pay for sex. Start getting to work on time instead of lounging about.
Well, basically, we've been called to one of the flats you see behind us by an elderly woman who lives next door, claiming she heard a girl screaming at the top of her voice. So, of course, quite rightly, she's called the police, and we've turned up to find the young lady who lives at this address was actually in the middle of a heated argument with someone on a telephone. We've had a quiet word with her about the noise levels, etc. And incidentally, she reported to us that she's been receiving threatening phone calls from a guy she had sexual relations with, whom she refused to pay after being unhappy with the service. Interestingly, fellow officers visited this address only yesterday after a similar report by a guy who reported receiving threats from her as a result of her sexual displeasure and him receiving non-payment.
Well, yes, for the requirement to pay for sex to be introduced at EU level, the European Commission would have to make a formal proposal to introduce it in the form of a new directive or regulation, but only after consultation and discussion with citizens, interest groups and experts. It must then be jointly approved by the Council of Ministers and the European Parliament, but only after scrutiny from our own domestic parliament has been completed. Once adopted, it is the responsibility of the individual member state to apply the new law. This could include the need for our domestic parliament here in the UK to pass new or amended legislation. This would then be implemented by the relevant government department, a process which would be closely monitored by the European Commission and the European Court of Justice. There is no overnight solution, unfortunately.
Wow. And there we have it. Love freely but pay for sex, say the government. An impending pay for sex policy for the people of Great Britain looms overhead. Insightful but scary stuff. Hopefully you've enjoyed watching. Until next time, I myself will be here updating my website and social network and posting out my own personal rates for my sexual services on Facebook and Twitter once I've worked them all out. So they'll be up there for anyone out there interested in having sex with me too. Men and women and everyone in between, I encourage you to do the same. No pay, no play. That's the new motto, but remember, adults only. My name is Brenda Emmanuel and you've been watching Love Freely but Pay for Sex. You can also find and watch this again online. Share freely this link with your friends, but let them pay up for it if they want to have sex with you. And also, you men out there too, don't let these women keep getting the benefits of your hard work free of charge. Remember the pay for sex policy. Goodbye for now.